When Casey Anthony went virtually unpunished in Florida for failing to report the disappearance of her 2-year-old daughter, residents of Pennsylvania began to wonder if the same thing could happen here. While Pennsylvania already has some relevant laws on the books, Representatives Tarah Toohil and Justin Simmons are seeking to strengthen them.
I think with the events that happened in Florida with little Kaylee Anthony, we had to look at possible loopholes in our law to prevent what happened there from happening here in Pennsylvania. Many of my constituents, in fact, over 300, emailed me wondering how you could go so long without reporting a little child being missing.
Representative Simmons' bill changes the crime of concealing the death of a child from a misdemeanor to a felony, and also increases the prison sentence and fine. Finally, it adds new language, including the term custodian, so that the law applies to more than just the biological parents.
That last provision closes a possible loophole in the current law, which prohibits a person from concealing the death of his or her child, which could be interpreted as applying only to the biological parents of that child. This change makes it clear that anyone in a position of legal responsibility for a child is committing a crime if he or she conceals the child's death.
Casey Anthony was convicted and held accountable for providing false information to police. The bill sponsored by Representative Toohil would increase that crime, when related to a criminal investigation involving a child, from a misdemeanor to a felony, and up to 7 years in prison. Like Simmons' bill, it adds the language that expands its application to include anyone in a position of responsibility for a child.
We need to tighten any standards that are dealing with protection of our children so that, we're not going to be one of those lax states like Florida where someone can just walk away from a crime such as this.
These two measures are just a small part of a group of child protection bills working their way through the legislative process.
We are striving through the tightening of our child protection laws to make sure all safeguards are taken to protect those who cannot protect themselves.